Hello, and welcome to Scrap TV, the video forum for the ISRI and Scrap Magazine websites. I'm Kent Kaiser, your Scrap TV host, and today I'm here with Ron Reich, who is here as a recipient of the 2018 ISRI Lifetime Achievement Award. In his 56-year career in the recycling industry, Ron worked for leading companies such as H. Kramer & Company, Schnitzer Steel Industries, Timco, and most recently, Atlas Pacific Corp. In Bloomington, California, from which he retired as Director of Purchasing in 2016. Throughout his career, Ron built the reputation as an expert in aluminum, copper, and brass. He shared his expertise in numerous metals identification seminars and courses. He also was an officer and board member of the California and West Coast chapters of ISRI and its predecessor organizations. And in 2012, ISRI's West Coast chapter recognized him with a Lifetime Achievement Award and named him Director Emeritus when he retired in 2016. First off, thanks for joining me here today, Ron.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
And congratulations on this award.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Can you tell me, how does it feel to be recognized for this award?
It's a very wonderful honor, and I'm very humbled by this fantastic award. Thank you.
Okay, well, can you tell us, how did you get started in the metals business?
Well, I had a summer job while I was in college with H. Kramer & Company, and I was very fascinated by the metal business, how you could take this junk and put it in a furnace and make these beautiful brass ingots. And I was in college at the time at Bowling Green University in Ohio, and I decided that I wanted to stay in the metal business and got a degree in industrial management and graduated Bowling Green. Then after Bowling Green, I served a tour of duty in the United States Marine Corps. And then after the Marine Corps, I went to work for Kramer on a full-time basis.
And in Chicago?
In Chicago, yeah.
Okay.
And the first 10 years, I worked in the plant grading and preparing material to go in the furnace. And after 10 years, the buyer in California passed away. So they asked me if I wanted to go to California. And I said, wow, beautiful weather, beautiful women. And I was in California for 16 years until they closed down the California plant. So, yeah.
I was going to ask you how a native Chicagoan ended up in California, but now...
Yeah, exactly, exactly, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. Well, what happened then when they closed the plant?
When they closed the plant, I was very, I was very good in the metals. I would do the seminars on metal identification, and Schnitzer Steel hired me to be their non-ferrous manager. It's interesting, Schnitzer was dismantling ships, and all the brass valves they would grade as red brass. And when I was at Kramer, I would show them, this is a Navy M, this is a Navy G, this is how you can upgrade your material, where other people might just buy it for red brass. So that, they became very fond of me. And after Kramer closed down, after 26 years, they hired me as their non-ferrous manager. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. You've stayed in California pretty much the rest of your life, right?
Right. Yeah. Then I spent spent 4 years with Schnitzer up in Oakland, and then Timco offered me a job. We always wanted to come back to Southern California, and Timco offered me a job, and they're an aluminum ingot maker, and I spent 20 years with Timco.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now you've seen a lot and done a lot in your career, so can you tell
Right.
me what have been some of the notable changes in your metal buying, trading job from the earliest days to the time you retired?
Right. In the old days, you would call on the phone and you would try to buy material, and you would go out, and I used to spend a lot of time on the road visiting people. And it's interesting too, because I had a briefcase, and in the briefcase, I had a file, I had a hacksaw, I had acids, and you'd go on the airplane, and you would check this through, But all the different places I would travel through California, up in the Pacific Northwest, even into Vancouver, Canada. And I made it a point to know the sorters by name. So I would go and I would visit the dealer, and the sorters knew me, and I was good with the metals, and they would say, what is this or what is that? And I would tell them what it is. So in the back of their mind, they say, oh, we got this from Mr. Reich. So I had a good chance of walking out with an order. So.
Goodness, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I was always into the identification, and then I did seminars in brass and copper for ISRI for many years. And then when I was at TIMCO, I did the seminars identifying aluminum. So I was always into the technical part of it rather than the wheeling, dealing, trading.
Okay.
I was kind of a metals guy that was a buyer, so
Okay.
it's interesting, yeah.
What did you think when the metal analyzer technology started coming on? Like
Handhelds
and whatnot?
Yeah, oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. But, people would still, in fact, it's interesting, nowadays, since I'm retired, people will send me an email, and they'll take a picture of the scrap, and then they'll take a picture of they see when they shoot it with the gun, and they'll ask me, what is this or what is that? So even though I'm retired, I'm still involved. I get up every morning and check the markets and check my emails, and often people will ask me questions, so I feel good about that. So
They obviously respect your expertise.
yes, sir.
Well, what interested you about aluminum, copper, and brass enough to sustain you in a 56-year career? What was it?
Well, to take this junk and sort it and refine it and make these beautiful products out of it, the valves, and we used to sell silicon bronze to people that made the brass sculptures. So it was, to take this junk and refine it and make the specification ingot it was very worthwhile. It made me feel good as to what we were doing. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay. How about what did you find most rewarding about serving in the various California West Coast chapters of ISRI and its predecessors? What did you find about it?
Oh, this gave me very good contacts, and I met a lot of wonderful people. I was on the board of the West Coast chapter for many, many years. I actually started out, we had a scrap organization. It was called Jewish War Veterans, because a lot of the people in the scrap business were Jewish. So, and I became the commander of that, and then I was involved with ISRI, and I became an officer. But being involved with these associations gave me very good contacts. Absolutely. And this helped me buy the medal. So.
Now, did you serve through the chapter positions all the way up through president, or were you more just a board member throughout?
No, I was a board member. In fact, it's interesting. At one time, I became secretary. Well, I'm not the secretary type, but I had a little recorder, and my wife, Beverly, is a legal secretary. So I would take some notes, take the recorder home, and then all of a sudden at the next meeting I had these beautiful minutes. So.
Oh, that's funny. Using your resources.
Yeah, using your resources, exactly, exactly.
Well, now looking back on your long involvement in the industry, I mean, what are some of your fondest memories and proudest moments, would you say?
Well, some of my the moments when I was recognized. This was in August of 2012. I was recognized by Israel. We had a dinner, and they recognized me for helping and promoting. And then in June of 2016, I became Director Emeritus. Yeah. But this honor that they gave me today is overwhelming, so it's really something. Yeah.
All right, well, now you held your own golf tournament, the Ron Reich Desert Classic, for 33 years, was it?
Right,
Oh my goodness,
exactly, exactly.
what was
This is kind of an interesting story. There were 8 fellas, and we decided that I was always a golf nut, and that was one of the reasons that I came out to California too, because you could play golf all year round. But we decided to go to San Diego and play golf at Torrey Pines, and we got rained out. So we decided the next year we would go to Palm Springs. And this grew, and other people in the industry found out about it, and the tournament grew. And I called it the Ron Reich Desert Classic, you know, like the Bob Hope Desert Classic. And we would get as many, and we held it. I was a member at Canyon Country Club, a very fine country club in Palm Springs, and we would get up to 100 people who would come and play golf, and then afterwards people would donate prizes, and we would have a victory dinner, and we would have a shotgun start on the first Saturday of April, and we were able to take over the whole golf course at this beautiful country club. And, you know, people would call and, you know, I want to play with this guy, I want to play with that. Oh, yeah, great. I said, by the way, you don't have an order, so. I was promoting, doing business too, but yeah, but what started out with just 8 people turned into, we would have up to 100 people towards the end, so.
Was
Yeah.
it mostly a networking event or a fundraiser for anything?
No,
or
it
just-
wasn't, no, it was networking. No, it wasn't a fundraiser.
Okay.
We would try to meet our expenses, so, and we would have, you know, we would have a lot of prizes. So we would have very nice tea prizes, and then we would have different categories, and a lot of people would win prizes. So it was a very fun, relaxed, and this was the last Saturday in April. So people in the Pacific Northwest and, and up in Canada and Utah, they love coming to Palm Springs,
Sure.
you know, for golfing. So this worked out very well. So.
Excellent. Last one here for you, Ron. You retired from the scrap industry in 2016, I believe.
Yes, sir.
What keeps you busy and engaged these days?
Well, as I say, I get up every morning and check the markets and check my emails, and my wife and I, we enjoy exercising in the pool every day, and I go to the gym, and I enjoy golfing. So retirement is very good. I had a long run, 56 years, and I always hit it real hard. I would get there early in the morning and stay, you know, stay till late at night. So everything was 110%. So.
Do you miss it much?
I don't miss the pressure of trying to buy every day, and towards the end, it got very difficult because the personal touch wasn't there anymore. You know, it was emails and text and that, and I was very good, you know, one-on-one with people, and they would ask me questions and I could help them. Then towards the end, you know, you send somebody an email and they don't respond, you send them a text. And no, at the end it was not as much fun. And that's one of the reasons that I decided to retire. So
retirement's good now.
retirement is great. We're very happy. So
Excellent.
yes, sir.
Well, thank you for talking with me today.
Okay,
Ron. Really appreciate it.
great pleasure.
Just signing off on Scrap TV. Until next time, thank you for joining us.